Let's talk time management. I made a video about this. We're not going to talk about it because it was really bad. We learned from our mistakes and we try again. So that's our opening. We are going to talk about time management. So I'm currently a junior at a new school. So fresh out of high school, I went to Hunter College for 2 years. It's in Manhattan. And now I go to Malloy. So it's my first year at Malloy. I don't have any jobs.
What?
I'm just a full-time student and I run track. That's all I do. I go to school. Well, semester's over. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up. Finals week. Never been happier to just take tests, but finals week is here. And I took a lot of credits at Hunter, so my schedule is dumb easy. So like literally I go to school 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I have practice every day, Monday through Friday at 3:45. So the most I could say is hard is I'm late some days to track because I have class, but I still do practice. So we're not going to talk about this semester. We're going to talk about my years at Hunter. So student athlete, going to practice 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. I don't even remember. Like it was 6 a.m., 7 a.m. I'm pretty sure it was 7 a.m., 7:30. And I started my day off with track. And then after track, we would lift. So basically, I'd wake up at 6. So from 6 a.m., I'd be commuting to the track, from 6 a.m. to 11. 11 would be the time that we finish lift and we are now at the school and we're now eating food. So first of all, it's basically intermittent fasting because I literally would not eat before practice. I would not eat until lunch. That was my first meal of the day. And then I had my classes, I had no conflicting schedules there. I think on Fridays I had to miss practice because I had lab. But then I just practiced on my own later that day. So yeah, while I wasn't running, I was at class. My schedule was 5 classes every semester. It wasn't bad. You just go to class and that's it. And then you do your homework. But I always made sure I had Fridays off. So I would have Friday off, like no classes Fridays. And then I would have Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I had 2 per diem jobs. Per diem means you're not part-time. You're less than that. You work whenever. It's very flexible. It's very good if you're a student because you don't have to work 40 hours a week. Like, no, it's flexible. It doesn't have to be every Friday, every Saturday. You pick up a shift whenever you can. Very, very flexible. I was a dispatcher and I was an EMT. So I never, ever, ever, ever had classes Fridays because my freshman year, I was still volunteering as an EMT because I would do Friday nights. But if I'm in the city, I need to get back home in Suffolk. So I left Fridays empty. Those were my clear days. Those I would just do my homework and I would go back home and I would volunteer 7 to midnight. I would do an overnight if I wanted. Once I stopped volunteering, I still kept Fridays free. That is because when I did work, I'd work a Friday. I'd work a Saturday, I'd work a Sunday. Sometimes it got to the point, because I just love being busy. It got to the point where I was dispatching Fridays and I'm on the road as an EMT Saturday, Sunday. And then I'm back to it in the morning and I'm bright and early at track and then I have classes Monday. So I just like keeping myself busy. I built up time management back in high school because I was a student athlete then and I was doing track and I was doing EMS and then I was volunteering. All of that in a week. If you saw my schedule, you'd be like, girl, in high school? Yes. Yes. People who overload themselves learn time management because we can't slack off too much because there's too much that we want to do. So the key to making all this work is knowing what you want. In order to give yourself time, you need to know what you even want to do at that time. You know what I mean? Because if I sit here and it's like, yeah, like maybe I'll do. No, I wanted to volunteer. I want that. I'm going to prioritize that high on my list. And I'm going to make sure I don't have classes on Friday so I can volunteer. Simple as that. And that routine just stuck with me. For school this semester at Malloy, I had classes Fridays, but I don't volunteer. I don't work. Next semester, I have all Fridays because I'm going to get a job. So Fridays are my work days, though. Like, it's just a habit. But yeah, so prioritizing what you want. Obviously, always prioritize school. If you want to prioritize athletics, you do that. Time management is just a schedule, and it's like slots. You're just putting puzzle pieces in the slot and this and that. Because I use Time Tree and I use another calendar. So I use two calendars, once for school, once for work, separate. I cross-check both to do anything, but the way Time Tree works, I don't know other calendars, but Time Tree, you can look at your day and you can see in the morning this slot's busy, then I have a gap, and then this slot's busy. Like, you can clearly map out everything so you can see just how much time that you have to work with. Another thing that helped me with time management was writing everything down. Malloy is really good because they have this thing called Canvas, and they have a little calendar section. So all of your classes, everything that's due, it tells you on a calendar so you can visually see this is due that day, this is due that day. It's the best thing. And it even crosses it out if you did it already. Hunter did not have that. So what I would do is I would go in a Word document and I would go through all of my syllabuses for every class and I would write it down, color coordinate it, so that way I knew, oh, on the 13th, I know I have XYZ, I have philosophy, I have language, I have Spanish, I have religion due, I have a paper due, and I wrote down everything, my test, I did that every semester. That way, if I was like, oh, really quick, I forgot what I have, do I have any homework today? I would just go on my document and I'd look, be like, no, I'm good. I'm ahead on my work. Being ahead on your work is the key to everything. You can be as busy as you want. If you are not getting your work done, you're not going to get nowhere, okay? Because you can't be an athlete if your grades is bad. You can't excel to the next semester if your grades is bad. So having good grades is everything. Prioritize studying. Give yourself time to study. Because it got to a point where I was working. And it's like, my mom's like, when are you studying? It's like, but luckily I had jobs like dispatching where you could study because the radios were quiet at a certain point. But yeah, so writing everything down, because it's like a mini to-do list. Like, you know what you have to do, what's due when. It lets you know, because that way you can craft your schedule around then. Because I wouldn't pick up a shift if I was swamped in work. There's no way that's happening. Or if I picked up a shift, like when I was an EMT, I would, at the beginning of the month, I would pick up my shifts for the month. So in the beginning of the month, the last week of that month, if I was swamped in work, like I knew in the back of my head, I'm working this day, I need to have everything in line before then, because I'm not going to be able to do work when I'm on the road. Because I'll probably be driving or I'm in the back with a patient. I can't be sitting there doing stats. Like, no, I'm going to do all my statistics before then. I'm going to do that before then. And another thing is building a routine. I made sure that Sundays were my reset days. Obviously, days I'm working, I was cooked. My reset day would then go to Monday. I'd have to push that back. And I would just buy everything from Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's is really cheap, especially in the city, because everything's expensive in the city, but Trader Joe's is not that bad. Everything's in at like $3.99. The meat is like a little expensive, but meat's expensive everywhere, okay? Whatever. But I would go grocery shopping and then I'd meal prep for the week. That's another thing that saved my time. Just cooking everything in one day. Going grocery shopping one day. Instead of, every day, what should I do today? I'll do this. Let me go to the grocery store. And then the next day, I don't have the ingredients. Let me do this. Let me go back to the grocery. It saved my time because I'm not sitting there deciding what I want to eat. I cooked this. I paid money for this. This is what I'm eating. That's another thing. As an EMT, you don't always have time to eat. I always bring my food, so that way that's never an excuse. Because you're living out of an ambulance, okay? No bathroom, no microwave, no fridge. I brought my own food in a thermos. It was never, I didn't have time to eat. Oh, baby, I'm making time to eat because I have my food right next to me. That saved a lot of my time, because whenever I don't eat, I get pissy. Having to work with someone you don't know and deal with patients, you don't want to be cranky. So I always made sure I had food on me. I'm big on food and like meal prep, but getting into the habit of meal prepping, especially as a student athlete, you're tired whenever you come home from practice, and you're tired after class and then practice and then lift, and then now you're home and you're like, what do I eat? Cooking on Sunday and being like, I have this to eat. This is great. I don't have to worry about nothing. I just gotta put it in the microwave. Meal prepping saves a lot of time, saves a lot of energy. And sometimes even like after work, who wants to go to the grocery store? After school, after all that, who wants to go to the grocery store? You just want to go home, be comfy, cozy, and heat up your food. So meal prepping was a big thing. I started that in high school. I started doing that. And yeah, it's not that bad. Like being a student athlete working 2 jobs, it got to a point where I stopped prioritizing sports because I was like, I'm not going pro with track. So I'm going to prioritize work. So I was working more. I was missing meets. I was missing practice. But that's because of me. I purposefully kind of put track under the rug and I put work first. That's why the schedules were butting heads and overlapping. It's because of me. As long as you write everything down, you know exactly. I have work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but I have school Monday, Tuesday. If you know that, you're going to go to school the right days, you're going to go to work the right days. Like, it's not that bad. It's literally not that bad. Just know what you have to do, know what you want to do. You can do as much as you want, but you just gotta be neat. You just gotta be organized. Because that's the big thing. You just gotta be organized. Like, I write everything down. I have daily to-do lists, and I have my 2 calendars, and I have a book where I write down everything that's due. I used to do that PowerPoint thing. Like, I used to do that doc where you write everything out, but Canvas tells me, so I don't need to. But I still do write down assignments week by week. I could show you. Hold on. My mommy bought it for me. Future days. But yeah, no, so week by week, right? I still went through all my syllabus and I wrote down everything that was due and I still crossed it out. As long as you write everything down, you'll be fine. The sky's the limit.